This is gonna be my reaction gif for everything, I swear to God. Sometimes you watch a movie and you think, oh man, I want to talk about this. And other times you watch a movie and you say, oh God, I gotta talk about this. Deep Shock, which this is such a misleading poster, by the way. This looks huge, right? But it's actually that this is the body and it's like super close to us. So for like the proportionality of this to be correct, those divers are only like 30 feet away, and this thing is like this close to us. I really thought that they were building up to a giant undersea eel like the size of a small town or something, but no. That's what they really look like in the movie. Or rather, that. They're maybe like 30 feet long total. It's so, like, while that is large, it's just nowhere near the size and scale of how big I thought this thing was. So enough stalling, what's it about? It's about, and this is not hyperbole, global warming is fake because giant eels live in a trench under the North Pole and we have to blow them up with nuclear bombs. Except the good guys want them to survive to wipe out humanity and, in fact, the entirety of life on Earth. Huh? Mark Sheppard plays the bad guy, a guy named Dr. Chomsky, who I thought for half the movie was real person Noam Chomsky. And then it was just so clearly just a different person with the same last name and no first name that, I guess it's supposed to be a metaphor. Anyways, Dr. Chomsky here wants to, detonate a nuclear bomb onto the Arctic ice caps. And that's, gonna stop global warming. Because there's a trench in there that's so hot that it's causing global warming. It's not man-made in the slightest. It's just that there's a trench in the polar ice. Bro, he has an argument with the main character, her. Oh, God. Because she has a theory that there is some sort of alien intelligence giving off signals in that trench that need to be studied. And he's like, I don't care. It's causing severe global warming. In 10 years, we're all going to be dead. Let's nuke the trench, which will close it. And then the world will be saved. And she's like, no, it represents too much for science. We have to go in there and study it more. Not that they haven't studied it at all. She's been working on decoding what other signals are coming out of it for years. We've given you years. Everyone's gonna die. We've given you years. I genuinely didn't know which one was supposed to be the bad guy because they're both so smarmy. She's just like, I think that it's more important to science that we study this. And he's like, well, I think, because he's got a fake American accent, kind of, I think that it's more important that we save the human species. And it's like, yeah, I think I'm with him. Anyways, also in the background for no reason, she has broken up with he, Senor Buttchin. She leaves Buttchin for him. He's only in one scene, so I don't remember his name. But also she didn't, and that's like the end of the movie. She reveals, oh yeah, I never actually shacked up with your best friend. He wanted to, though, so he betrayed your friendship anyways! They don't even explain why she felt so betrayed by her ex-husband, so much that she wanted to end the marriage anyways, or if they even got fully divorced or not, or what the timeline is, or why this matters. Anyways, they call for a nuclear strike, and a bunch of eels come out, and they just completely destroy the little station, except for not at all. Apparently it's fine in there, everybody inside's dead, but the whole thing is like structurally sound because they're electric eels. That's right. They use electricity to just shock everybody and communicate And also, electric eel electricity is neurological, not physiological, so it's actually their brain waves. Yeah, I don't know about any of that science, bud, and, that's just really stupid. Don't get me wrong, I love a stupid plot. I love an idea that's crazy hard to pull off. Like the idea of that movie that just came out where it's like the rain is gluing people inside their house. I think that I could make that totally work. However, it's not gonna like mean anything. It's just a, can I pull this off and how can I do that? And it doesn't sound like anything that they put in that movie, which I haven't seen, but I would like to because it sounds really bad. My brain is trying to protect me from talking about this. So, since that didn't work, and the electric eels also shot down all of the nukes and probes or whatever that were sent to the trench from this station, because they have zappy powers, so they just turned them off, they decide, okay, now we've got to send another team to basically assess the situation and figure out if we need to send another nuke or clear the way or how we should go about this. And so it's like, okay, so we need somebody who's really tactical to really understand the situation. We've already gotten the go-ahead for deploying countermeasures against this. We almost lost a nuclear submarine as well in the opening act. Like, okay, that makes sense. Who do they send? Chomsky. Some doctor from the UN, as well as her, another doctor, who was called by the guy who held a gun on people the first time that this was done. Why would they pick her? And also he's here. Why? The movie makes no sense at all at any moment. And yet, I'm supposed to hate the guy who's trying to save humanity? Okay, so they clear out the base of all the bodies and make sure that it's up and running. And Chomsky tells one of the expendable guys, hey, go out there and put out a new probe so I can communicate with home base. And home base is being the UN. And so the guy does it and then gets absolutely wrecked by electric eels. Because of course he does. Because he has to use explosives to carve out a path of the ice for him to place the probe outside in the water. And, like, we had established that they don't like explosives. And he's just like, well, I needed to do what I needed to do. And everybody else is like, what? Butchin literally points out that he could have placed a probe through a different hatch in the base somehow. I don't know. The eels commune with her, giving her the ability to, like, see their plans, kind of, but she still has to decode their language of the electric field that they're emitting, and whenever they are about to attack, they emit a field that we can hear on our instruments, and she finally, like, kind of starts to understand, and, So he thinks that we gotta destroy the eels to save humanity, because we do, and she thinks that because they can communicate, they deserve to exist. Honey, they're gonna kill everyone! So he calls into the UN, like, you gotta send the bombs. We're gonna hang out right here, within the blast radius. It'll be fine, though. Right? So there's power struggles and plans that change, and the UN sends out a billion frickin' submarines to go shoot nuclear missiles at this thing, because one wasn't gonna, it didn't reach, but they could send so many, and it's like, okay, that's a terrible idea, but sure, it'll work. They can't stop that many, realistically, and so the climax of the movie is them swapping between the mini-sub and the base and trying to not get exploded and finally being able to communicate with the eels, and the eels saying, this isn't your world, it's ours. We were here first and got frozen in the ice, and now we want to take it over. We're going to flood the earth and kill everyone. You're an infestation. We don't care about you. Buddy, that means they gotta go! But no, he's the bad guy because he wants to wipe them out. I'm sorry, part 2!